Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. My name is Akash. You can follow me on Twitter at Magiko with a zero at the end. Click this link in my Twitter bio. It will take you to my YouTube channel where I post an update every single day. Right? For the past 2 days, I haven't posted any update, mainly because I'm having some issues and attending a couple of friends' engagement, marriage parties, and that kind of stuff. So today I'm gonna be talking about Bitcoin, and then we're gonna take a look at a couple of altcoins, which I haven't done in quite some time. So yeah, so what happened right now is that the price consolidated, bracketed under the 50 fib for quite some time. There was a rejection here, and then we had the weekly open. The price did not retest the weekly open, but I did mention that being bullish on the at the open of the week would lead to a downswing, and that's what happened. The price created an FEG here, swept the Monday's low on 24th May, which was interesting because I kind of shorted Bitcoin somewhere around here, but then I kind of panicked and closed my short around here. Right, since then the price kind of dropped a lot. I waited for the Monday's low to form. I didn't take any trades. Once the Monday's low was swept, I think I did open a quick upswing. Not sure actually. Either way, after this, I was just basically sitting on the sidelines watching the chart. And as I was, gaming, I kind of saw Bitcoin drop quite a bit. So I kind of opened a long position, and I still haven't closed it and updated on Twitter. Right. So what's happened right now is the price. So the reason why I did not like go extremely bullish after receiving the Monday's low was because these lows that were formed all the way back from 14th May were virtually untapped. What I mean by untapped is that there was no swing low below this low over here, which means that people that long here and they have the stop losses just below this level here. So all of these stop losses were virtually uncollected, and that's what's termed as liquidity, right? So I kind of waited for the price to, or market makers, you can call them whatever you want. You can call them smart money, you can call them market makers, you can call them whales. So these players, right, they engineer liquidity by taking the stop losses of these traders over here. So now that this is done, I was confident that the price is going to go higher. So I think along the Bitcoin around 21, 28, 160, if I remember correctly, and the price is doing pretty good right now. And we're okay. We've closed the FEG that was formed here, right? So this FEG extended from here to this point, right? And right now we're done. There's only a very tiny bit of this gap left here. So I don't see it going, like I don't see Bitcoin price, rallying like it did over here. This was a really good V-shaped recovery, right? So yeah, what I'm expecting right now is for the price to slowly continue going up, collect, move back over the weekly open, sweep the Monday's high, previous Monday's highs, and then sweep equal highs. Basically, any of these levels are really good take profit levels here. I'm not weekly open, Monday's high, equal highs, previous Monday's highs, and the range high. So basically, all of these levels are pretty good for take profits. And if you haven't watched this particular video where I kind of talk about basically a macro perspective on Bitcoin and why I'm kind of expecting the price to go up to $36,000, and if Bitcoin price does go up to 36K, it's a dead cat bounce that I'm expecting. So a reversal around 34 to 36K is kind of what I'm expecting, and that's where I'm gonna like exit all my spot positions. And yeah, so if you haven't checked this video out, please make sure to go and check it out. It's gonna be at the right top corner right now. So that said, I kind of want to add more to my longs and then continue, let it run up to 36K, which is 35K, which is my short-term target, right? So that would be really good because the price has been bracketing for quite some time, at least since we had this liquidity purge of 2021. The price has been bracketing, right? So I'm hoping the price goes up to 35K so I can compound my long positions. So yeah, that is pretty much it for Bitcoin. I'm expecting the price to, if not 35K, at least retest 31K. And if not 31K, Monday's high would be like the least Bitcoin can do right now. So if this is, let me just see how much, a 4% upswing here, and equal highs would be 4.7, and then the range high would be 7% upswing. Right, so yeah, 7% upswing is what you can expect going forward. That said, since Bitcoin is going to go higher, I'm expecting a lot of altcoins to perform as well. And if you look at Shiba Inu, I'm not sure. Actually, I spoke about Shiba Inu on the FX Street YouTube channel. So if you haven't, go make sure to go and check it out. So what's happening right now is, actually, you know what? Let's take a look at it from a lower time frame perspective. On the 1 hour time frame, the price is kind of like bracketing here. Hold on. Yep. So what's happened right now is the price collected liquidity resting below these swing lows around here, and now it's making its way back up, trying to fill this fair value gap up to 113. Right. So if you go on 15-minute chart, you can see that the price is coming back to this. It was the demand zone which was breached, and now the price has gone above it. Basically, not a breaker if you kind of look at it. Basically, right now this is a really good place to enter Shiba Inu scalp if I want to do it right now, but I'm recording, so I'm not going to be doing it all the way up to this point. Very quick in and out Shiba Inu scalp that I'm kind of looking at right now. Hopefully, if the price comes down to 109, I might enter it along again. So that said, I think a recovery above the range low at 114 would be right. If we get a recovery above this and a consolidation, I think there's a good chance price could head all the way up to this range high. And again, like I mentioned for Bitcoin, right, like this particular swing up that we saw here collected liquidity above these highs, but these highs are uncollected, 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 right? So all of these swing highs are potential targets. So if you are looking to trade SHIB, then your first entry point would be right where it is right now, and the second entry point would be after a confirmation that the price is recovered above the range low at 114. Yep. So this would be a second entry position, and I think after we get a recovery above this thing, you just open long position and just sit out and watch what Bitcoin is going to do, right? So that is the first coin. Let's take a look at Cardano. Right. So again, the outlook for Cardano is pretty similar to what's happening with Shiba Inu, right? The price, as you can see here, there was a triple tap setup that was formed here, which led to the downswing, right? And since then, the price had never swept the low because you can see here, untapped, untapped, untapped. So this swing that we got down here basically collected liquidity above all of these swing lows, including this one, right? So what I'm expecting now is for Cardano to recover above the range low at 0.487, and then like you can see the red lines, right? So that's how I'm expecting the price to kind of proceed going forward, right? If I think if you have watched my Cardano video on ApeCoin Street that I posted on Tuesday, I was talking about taking this trade and how it would be a no-brainer because it's an asymmetric trade because the risk is too little compared to the reward, right? That said, uh, not all trades that have high reward and low risk is an asymmetric trade. I think it has to make sense, right? For me, the reason why this trade kind of made sense was because I expected the price to not go down this violently, but I kind of expected the price to sweep the low, sweep the range low, and then make a reverse, make a U-turn, and then go higher, right? But Cardano kind of overextended. I mean, it's understandable considering how Bitcoin like crashed quite a bit in a single 1 hour candle, right? So that makes sense. Although if somebody had entered this trade, they would have gotten stopped. So that's nothing to be worried about. You can just wait for recovery above 0.487, and I think it will still make sense for the Cardano price to go higher. Uh, that said, let's move on to the next coin, which is APE. So I'm also kind of looking at ApeCoin very closely, right? I'm not sure if I actually explained this in my YouTube channel, but I think I did on the FX Street channel, FX Street YouTube channel, where I kind of expected. I knew this bull pennant was a really good setup, and I expected the price to, as you can see here, sweep lower as a fake out and then make its way higher. But since then, the price, like after this fake out that we saw here, the price has continued to kind of trend below, and it's kind of explainable. It's understandable because of the way Bitcoin has been trading lately, right? So what's happened right now is ApeCoin has basically dropped all the way down to $6.8, and I'm just gonna be waiting on the sidelines. Like I kind of bought a little bit of spot for ApeCoin, and I'm just waiting for the price to go up. And my thesis behind buying ApeCoin right now is because I'm expecting Bitcoin to go up to 36K, right? If not 36K, at least 31K. In which case I'm expecting ApeCoin to at least go up to $8.14, right? So that makes sense. Another scenario that I see how ApeCoin could recover is do something like this, and then this. Now this would be a really good triple tap setup, which would basically allow ApeCoin to go up to 8.4. Assuming this does take place, it would be a 17% upswing, right? And on top of that, what's really interesting is that these highs are virtually untapped. Okay, not this one, but this one and this one. And yeah, I think $10 ape is something that you can expect if Bitcoin continues to head up to 36K. But I think even if Bitcoin goes up to 31K, I think there's a really good chance ApeCoin could go up to at least 9.5 and $10, if not 10.6. So yeah, this is another coin that I'm kind of keeping a close eye on. So before we move on to the next coin, I just want to take a look at Cardano from an on-chain perspective. Okay, never mind. There's been a problem with the into the block metrics. Yeah, nope. So yeah, the next coin I want to take a look at is GMT or STEPN. Okay, so basically STEPN. Okay, so this is clearly there's an edge for demand zone. Cool. So STEPN on a 1 hour time frame looks like it is moving out of its descending triangle setup. Just redraw this. Actually, I think this would make a lot more sense. Yep, perfect. Right, so this is a fake out of a bull pennant. So you have the flagpole and then you have the pennant, right? So this is a fake out. So once we get a recovery above this, we can expect the price to head up to edge for demand zone's lower limit at 1.60. But if you measure the coin, theoretical target for this, it would be a 46% upswing from the point of breakout, which would put it at $2.06. But considering how we have this massive demand zone here, okay, hold on, this is not demand zone, this is supply. Yeah, I think we should just worry about this supply for now. So now this is an H1 supply. Okay, yep, so a retest of 1.66 is what I'm looking at for STEPN or GMT going forward. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my analysis for all the coins, right? For STEPN, I'm expecting the price to okay, well, this is something that I have to mention. There's a really good FVG all the way up to here, all the way from 1.25 to at least 1.37. Right, so I think Stefan, I might take a perp trade for this. waiting for the coin to retrace down to this level here. Then I'm gonna open a very tight stop loss trade with a move up to 1.36. Yep, so this is something that I am looking at for STEPN, right? From a scalping perspective, I think 1.36 seems like a really good trade. From a day trading perspective, I think uh, we could not trade. I mean, even if you're day trading, I think you have to keep a close eye on Bitcoin. The market right now, the state of the market right now is extremely choppy, so it could literally chop your balance or your capital. So I think actively managing the trades are the ones that you have to take. And if you cannot actively manage it, I think scalping this would be really good. Not leaving the trade open overnight would be a really good idea. Right, so yeah, for STEPN, if you're looking at a scalp, then I think you could probably close out your positions around 1.3. And if you are willing to take the risk and leave the position overnight, uh, both of which are a bad idea because A, you have a very tight stop loss, and B, the market is choppy. Even if you do manage, even if you do take the decision to leave it open overnight, I think your take profit levels could be somewhere around 1.4 and 1.6. Right, so let's conclude. Right, STEPN looks pretty good as well. There's a really good fake out, which is and a really good upside objective, which is the FEG. And the next coin we discussed was ADA. Right, ADA looks pretty good as well. If we get a decisive kind of move above the range low at 0.487, I think one can expect the price to go at least up to also an FEG down here, from here to here, but it was filled to this point, right? So we had FEG up to 0.54. So even if you want to take a trade for Cardano and you do something like this, I think this would be a really good setup. 4.9, roughly 5-hour trade with a 11% upswing and a 2% risk, right? So yeah, this is what I'm kind of looking at for Cardano from a scalping perspective. From like I mentioned in the video that I did on FX Street, although I won't, if this is a kind of like a swing trade, I think I would wait for the price to, if in the trade, if I wait for the price to go up to 0.614, I would be actively managing it, right? So yeah, hypothetically speaking, that's how I would play this. But right now, I'm kind of focused on Cardano as well. But I'm only going to be scalping this, not leaving the position open to retest the range high at 0.614. Right. So let's move to the next coin, which was SHIB. Yep. Again, for SHIB on a 15-minute time frame, I'm kind of expecting the price to head back down to this level here and retest it again. But if this kind of gets stopped out, I think there's a good chance price could bounce off of this red line here, in which case I think for SHIB I'm just going to wait it out and play something like this. I think a good 3.6-hour trade, mainly even if the price doesn't go all the way up to this level here, I think these swing highs over here are really good places to profit, right? So, but the only problem is that there was quite a bit of consolidation that took place here, so we could see a little bit of consolidation before the price actually makes a move up and then probably head down, right? So you could decide to book profits around point, I mean 115, or you could just wait and book profits around 120, right? So let me just clean this chart up. So perfect. Right, so this is the trade that I'm kind of hoping to take for SHIB if it ever comes down to the red line. If not, I think I will just open my long position at 109 and book profits around, I think the range low would be better at 114, in which case you would get something like this with my stop loss around this, right? So this is the second one, and for, I think that's pretty much it, right? Let's go look at Bitcoin, right? For Bitcoin, For Bitcoin, we have a very minute FVG, even if you can call this that. Uh, but my take profit levels would be around the Monday's high because we haven't swept the Monday's high for the last week, and we haven't swept the Monday's high for the week before that as well, right? So I think 31.3 and 31 point, at least 30.6 would be really good take profit levels. If we extend all the way up to the previous Monday's high at 31.3, I think it's a no-brainer for Bitcoin to not sweep the range high at 31,493. So important take profit levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. As for if I see a lot of strength in Bitcoin, which I'm gonna update on my Twitter, I would be looking to add more to my long position and compound it and book profits around 35, 34K. So yeah, that is pretty much it for today's analysis, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, please make sure to head on over to my Twitter at Mangeko with a zero at the end and just comment, DM. Don't DM. I don't have my DMs open. It's they get sent to this another box where I have to approve the messages. So do not DM me. Just tweet me. Just tweet at me. So yep, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a really good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you guys are. Have a great day. Peace.